My husband picked this up for me at the local Goodwill. He knows how much I absolutely love redoing these jewelry armoires. Isn't he the best? He didn't pay too awfully much for it either. I believe it was around $20, so he got a great deal. This is my submission piece for the Unique Antique Challenge. Let your flowers grow, anything goes. So I have free range to do whatever I want to do on this piece. As you can see, it's not in terrible condition. Needs a good cleaning for the most part. It's missing a handle right there. A little bit of an issue right there. No big deal. I'm going to start by cleaning it, scuff sanding it, and taking it apart. This challenge is hosted by yours truly and the lovely DIYs by Dar. I'm going to work on scuff sanding everything first, getting this all prepped for paint. I did clean it prior to scuff sanding to remove any dirt and debris, and then I will clean it once again. I'm just using some TSP diluted in water. If you love content like this, make sure you check out the playlist of all the participants that will be joining the challenge. I will have that linked below as well as on the end screen. I taped everything off with some blue painter's tape to kind of help protect it. I'm going to use this Made by Marley paper that my friend Dar sent me. Isn't it lovely? I'll be using Varathane Triple Thick polyurethane as my decoupage medium. I'm going to make sure I'm applying my paper correctly onto the side of my door. I don't want to put it on upside down. That would be really sad. So always double check that, triple check that. Make sure you're all good with that. One nice thing about Made by Marley is you don't need to apply a white or light colored paint behind it because the paper is so thick and robust that that step is not needed. So I'm going to go ahead and apply it. Then I'm going to add my paper and I'm going to apply it. Use a piece of plastic. Right here's a plastic grocery bag, and I'm going to rub it down and get that paper sealed onto my surface. Then I will do the rest of it like so. Smooth out those wrinkles. As I was working on this, I realized that this trim piece is missing from this door right here. I tried to remove it with a putty knife, but it would not come off. It just would not budge. So I had to pivot and move on to a different solution. To match up the existing trim on the door that was missing the trim, I'm using some air dry clay and I'm going to roll it up into a long trim shaped piece and apply it. I used some Gorilla brand wood glue to glue it down and a couple pieces of painter's tape to hold it in place while it dried. I used a small artist brush to clean off any of the excess glue that squeezed out on the edges of my faux wood trim piece. Rusty Nail by Dixie Belle. I'm going to add this to the sides here as my base coat. So start using some sandpaper and going in a downward motion. I'm going to remove the excess paper from the door. Some more painting, and then I'm going to touch up the edges around my decoupage paper and kind of blend that into the whole entire piece. I don't usually tape off around my mirrors because it's so easy to clean off any paint that may possibly get on the mirror or even on glass. I'm going to stamp on the inside of the doors, and these stamps are brand new, so to prep them I need to use some sandpaper and lightly go over the stamping pad to prep them for ink. I'll take the ink pad and press it up against the stamping pad. I'm not worried about full coverage. I want it to kind of look a little bit distressed. And then very carefully, I'm going to align up my stamp and press it on there, being gentle enough so it doesn't slip or move. And then I'll continue on with the rest of the jewelry armoire. If for some reason you aren't happy with it, you can always wipe it off. This is just some washable ink, so I can wipe it off if I need to, or I can go over it again and re-stamp it. Just being careful not to go off of my design so the image doesn't look distorted. Next, I did some dry brushing and a little bit of blending. I used this Java brown color and I tapped off most of the paint. I only wanted a small amount on there so that way I can just make it very subtle and a light. If you happen to get too much on there, just have your mister bottle handy so you can spray it down with the water and wipe off any excess. I did end up going a lot darker with the Java brown color than I had originally thought I wanted, but I'm going for an old world look on this piece, and I thought that it looked better, more heavily applied. I use spray lacquer over my stamping to seal it. This is also an important step prior to sealing it with a brush on method so it doesn't smear. I picked this polyacrylic up at a estate sale. I always recommend checking out the barn section because you can always find good deals. This was maybe used one time ever, so it's like brand new. I'm going to give it a nice good stir. And then I am going to start applying it. Now it's time to start putting everything back together. So I'm going to remove this tape. One of the handles was broken, so I'm going to replace it, and I found this one in my stash. I'm going to have to change it up a little bit so it matches the rusty nail color and tap it on there to make it blend into the piece. I'm going to use some of this brown antiquing wax on the top. And then I'm going to add some to the front as well. And then right here, I'm going to kind of tap and dab it want to give it a little bit of that old world feel. Finally, I'll add a touch of this gilding wax to the poles. And a little bit on this trim too. All right, let's have a quick look at the before we check out the final reveal. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you check out the playlist DIY by Dar, her channel as well. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you feel inspired. Please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and hyping the video. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks again. Bye.